Hello, comic book guys and gals, and welcome to Comic Mag Musings Live. I am your handsome but humble host, Bill Miller. All right, so let's get started. We are doing a push to 1,000, grow together, support live stream for Gary B, the casual comic guy. This is a contest that he is hosting. There are prizes given by several other community members. If I am fortunate enough to win, I will be prize tagging someone. But I'm excited to show my support and take part in the contest. You have to be, I would assume, 18 or over. He didn't mention it, but it would probably be pretty nice if you would be subscribed to Gary. The contest will end when he has a sustained week of 1,000 or more subscribers. And what he wants you to do, if you're a content creator, he wants you to make a video shouting out 3 YouTubers. There we go. And hit him up on, as the kids call it, IG, and let him know that you made a video. Because when you put links on YouTube, oftentimes those comments get removed. So we've got Lloyd Ivester in here. How you doing, Lloyd? Good to see you. Got the man of the hour, Gary B, the casual comic guy. Good to see you, Gar Bear. Got Metarog. I'm doing well. How are you, sir? Muy bien, y tú, as the kids say. Ahoy, Captain. Good to see you. The Jackson Roy Kurt. I always knew he was like a prepubescent teen that was faking the funk in the comic book community. We've got Brandon and quite possibly his fantastic beard. And we've got Richard. How are you, Richard, fellow Arizonan? Speaking of Arizona, we're super excited because our Cardinals just beat the heck out of the Seattle Sea Chickens. So we're very excited about that. Anytime we could beat up on Seattle, it's always a good time. Although I do like Russell Wilson. That dude's a class act. All right. So we'll go into a little bit about Gary. There's a big misconception about Gary in the community. A lot of people think that he only likes Conan the Barbarian. And that's just not true. It's not true at all. He collects other titles as well. I know for a fact that he's a fan of Cole, and he's also a fan of Red Sonja. So let that marinate. Sit in for a minute the next time you want to claim that he's a one-trick pony and he's only interested in Conan, because it's not a fair label and you can't box him in like that. If you've watched any of his videos, and I suspect most of you have, he's got great content, but there was one particular live stream where he was really hitting it on all points. He was in the zone, to use a sports term. He was asking some hard-hitting journalistic questions, and sad to say, much as he's tried, he hasn't been able to recapture that magic that he had that night. If you're curious, I'll show you the particular live stream that I'm talking about. It would be, of course, this live stream where he had Bill from Comic Mag Musings in the hot seat with the usual suspects. Dare I say, that night, we had some Mag Musings magic. If you haven't seen that, you owe it to yourself and to posterity to watch that stream in its entirety. But enough about Gary. Let's talk about these shout-outs. All right. I'm doing 3 shout-outs today. I try to shout out people that I hadn't shouted out previously, but I think I failed on a couple of these. First, we will shout out this rascal, Luther Manning. Great videos. Usually does. Luther Manning's Patrick. Has a good friend, Mike, who's on a lot of his videos. And they usually do really well put together CGC unboxings. Mike sends in a lot of books. I think he's a dealer. And when they get them back, they both predict the grade and they show the grade that they got. A lot of Silver Age stuff, some bronze too. But really fun videos. Doesn't put out a lot of content, but when he does, they're pretty long, entertaining videos. So that is Luther Manning. Check him out if you get a chance. I think you'd enjoy it. Not a good idea, Gary. Not a good idea. Roger is a show stealer like nobody's business. All right. Our second shout out is this fellow right here. Black Sheep Comic Collector. So he doesn't have a lot of subs. He's undersubbed. But I would check out his content, especially if you're interested in Golden Age. He collects from all eras, particularly, though, silver and gold. And he's got some great timelies in the Golden Age. So just a great chance to see some really cool books. Black Sheep Comic Collector. And my last shout out he's an OG in the community. It's Alan from AFTA Comics. Sometimes he goes through stretches where he doesn't put out content for a while, but when he does, it's always worth the wait. He has one of the best collections in the community, and talk about a completist. That is him in a nutshell. He's got some great stuff that you won't see anywhere else, like posters, like toys, and the display boxes that they came with. Just incredible. Works in the radio industry, and he certainly has a cool, soothing voice, tells wonderful stories. Never seen a bad video from Alan. So that's AFTA Space Comics. He's criminally undersubbed. He should have been past 1,000 a long time ago. So that's true. That's neither here nor there. So make sure you sub them up. And of course, first and foremost, sub up Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy. I've subbed him up probably 100 times over the last month and a half because I get so angry with him. I rage unsub him, but then I sheepishly sneak in there the next day and sub him up again. So I would encourage you to check out Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy. I guarantee that he will have something that piques your interest. I can't just let a live stream go without doing a couple quick unboxings. So I'm going to do those, but they're already prepared, much to the chagrin of the Jackson Roy Kirk. His favorite part of my unboxing videos is the unboxing process itself. But I'll have to cheat him of that tonight because I have a couple slabbies from my comic shop that are just ready to rock and roll. And then in honor of Gary, I've got a couple Conan comic books because let's face it, Gary only loves Conan. Have you been watching his videos? That's it. Conan the Barbarian, Savage Sword of Conan. That's his gig. All right. So let's check out what we've got. This one, I don't remember what it is. The other one, I do remember. So let's see what this one is. I'll try to do it so I don't see it. Let's see. All right. And which way is it facing? All right. I think I got it. There we go. Oh, very cool. All right. So we've got Velvet #1 from Image Comics, October of 2013. This is the Forbidden Planet / the Lakes International Comic Art Festival exclusive. This is a 9.6 Ed Brubaker story, Steve Epting art, Sean Phillips cover. So this Velvet, I don't know if it was either one of my spec picks or will be ultimately one of my spec picks. But such a great series, a great read. And I got this one for a steal. I generally don't collect a whole lot of moderns or indies as far as slabbing them, but it was just a great bargain, so had to get it. So Velvet #1. All right, now this one I do know what it is. Only for you, Roger. You know Roger and his moderns and his slabs. He's a monster about it. All right, let's see what we got. This is magazine size, but it's not Sword and Sorcery. So I think Roger would like this one. Here we go. Boom. All right. Drink that one in. So we've got Deadly Hands of Kung Fu #8, Marvel Comics, January of 75. Swords for Hire, movie review by John Warner. Doug Mensch and Bill Mantlo stories, Perez, Vosberg, Abel, and Milgram art. And this is a 9.2 with white pages. So pretty cool. My first Deadly Hands of Kung Fu mag. And it was criminally underpriced. So I figured, why not pick it up? Very excited to have that one. So those are the two unboxings. On the back, have you seen this coupon before? I haven't, but I know that Gary B has. And this is the coupon for, what is this? LaSalle Extension University. D's get degrees. That's their motto. So Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, #8. All right. And now, back to the chat. I don't. That's the only Deadly Hands of Kung Fu magazine I have, raw or slabbed. They're usually, when I've looked, they're usually pretty, just not in my price range. Chop, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate that. And so Gary, I think, likes this fella. This is Savage Sword of Conan, #1. We've got an 8.5. What does this have? Off-white for white page. And then we've got a qualified 9.2 with an amazing Boris Vallejo signature. So that's the bad thing about, well, I mean, you can pick and choose what are bad things about CGC. But if it's not witnessed, then they don't verify or validate signatures. And unfortunately, CBCS doesn't do magazines. So if they did, I would send this in. But I love it. I've studied enough Big Boris signatures to know a legit one when I see it. And then to cap it off, we have a 9.4 Savage Sword of Conan #1. And then lastly, probably my favorite of any Conan cover of all time, we have Savage Sword #5. And this one also is a Boris Vallejo signature. And this is a qualified 9.6. So probably, definitely my favorite Savage Sword, my favorite cover of any Conan series ever, aside from maybe the 60s trade paperback covers by Frazetta. So, in honor of Gary, congratulations on getting toward 1,000. Well deserved. I think I've got like 3 or 4, but well deserved. I enjoy your videos. I made light of it before. Gary's into comic books, not just sword and sorcery, but comic books. He happens to like sword and sorcery, but there's something on his channel for everyone. I can assure you of that. So if you haven't checked out what he has to offer, please do so. He's got plenty of content and all of it good. Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy. That's his channel name. And his link is in the description, as well as my 3 shout outs: Luther Manning, Black Sheep Comic Collector, and AFTA Comics. That will do it for me. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Cold War Comics, thanks for stopping in. Good to see you. Check him out if you haven't already. He has some great 1950s war comics. Speaking of, I'm in the midst of working on something related to that. Just a lot of work, more work than any video I've ever done before, because I'm really lazy and I can't stand editing. And those are 2 things that really tend to work against you on YouTube. But I'm knuckling down because this is a passion project for me. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, I'll have that out. And hopefully people really enjoy it. We'll see. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Please check out Gary B and the rest of the shout outs. And always remember, we're taking over the world one comic book at a time.